Hello and good morning. It is Thursday, the 6th of July, 2023, and welcome to Update 24. So I've arrived at Murdoch Hospital. I have been arrived and we have gone through the consent forms and the financial forms, and everything's on track. I've spoken to the lady that has brought me up to the room. I am second on the theatre list, which means I will be done, well, second, so after the first person. So I dare say, look, I'm guessing, I don't really know, but I would say that I'll probably be in the operating theatre around 10 a.m. Perth time, which is GMT +8, and things should be okay. My spirit is high today. I'm feeling just fine. I have studied the second verse to the Banana Splits TraLaLa song. So my intent is, when I'm coming out of my general anaesthetic, that I will sing that to you. If you would like to, then pause the video here and Google Banana Splits TraLaLa song and go and learn the words. And if you do that, you're going to be able to sing along with me, with a drugged up version of me, later on in this video. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that today is going to be a day of fun and happiness. We've certainly had a lot of days of tears and I guess anguish, sadness and reflection. But today is hopefully, certainly is starting out that way, a day of happiness. So pause the video here and go learn the words to the Banana Split song. It is on YouTube. And if you Google the lyrics, you can find the lyrics. They're pretty easy. I'll tell you the four names of the characters because they feature in verse 2. The four names are Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snork. Now I'll just go through those for you. Fleagle is a beagle, so he's a dog. Bingo is a gorilla, and he plays drums, and he's kind of big and clumsy. Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper. Drooper is a drooper dog, so he's another dog, same as Fleagle. And Snork, there's actually no character called Snork. His name is actually Snorky, but you'll find out when we sing the song why they say Snork, not Snorky. And Snorky has a snorkel because he is an elephant. So please pause here and go and learn the words to that song, and we're going to be singing it together later on. So go do that. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, I've just had an update, and the update is that for whatever reason, my surgery is going to be at 2 p.m. today. So I don't know why they got me in at 8:30 in the morning if I'm actually down on the list for 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but that is what has happened. So we are going to use this time constructively. I think this is the project manager coming out of me, to be honest. So what we're going to do is we are going to practice the Banana Split song while we are all sober, and then I'm going to sing it to you when I'm off my face coming out of general anaesthetic. I've deliberately positioned myself to give myself a space here, and I will use that as a picture-in-picture later on. Now, firstly, I'll go through the first verse of the song. Just hold on, I'll wait for that beeping to stop. Okay, the beeping is now finished. So just to go through the words of the first verse of the song, and remember, I've already done this verse, so this is not the verse we're going to sing later on in this episode. It's in, I think it's update 8, and I think it's at 4 minutes and 15 seconds. I'll put the correct timestamp down here. But just for your information, the first verse goes 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. 4 bananas make a bunch, and so do many more. Over hill and highway, the banana buggy goes, coming on to bring you the Banana Split show. Gonna have a mess of fun, tra-la-la, tra-la-la-la, right? So that's the first verse. So just for information, that's it, but we won't be singing that today. We're gonna be doing the second verse. So pay attention, I will go over it more than once. The second verse goes 4 banana, 3 banana, 2 banana, 1. 4 bananas playing in the bright warm sun. Flippin' like a pancake, poppin' like a cork, Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snork, right? That's the second verse, and then it goes into tra-la-la. So if you didn't go and look at the video online, that's fine. Those are the words. It is a really fun song, so I do hope you do go and look at it. And later on in this episode, we're going to be singing it together. So just to go through that again, and I might even pop up. How about I pop up some words here so you can see it visually as well. So it's 4 banana, 3 banana, 2 banana, 1. 4 bananas playing in the bright warm sun, flippin' like a pancake, poppin' like a cork, fleagle, bingo, drooper, and snork. And the way I remember, because motions are often really useful for remembering things. So if you need the hand motions, just go 4 banana, 3 banana, 2 banana, 1. 4 bananas playing in the bright warm sun, flippin' like a pancake, poppin' like a cork, fleagle, bingo, drooper, and snork. Okay, so those are the words. I hope I hope you're getting them memorised, because when we sing it, when I sing that, I'm going to be coming off of general anaesthetic drugs. So I'm going to be high, so I won't be able to cuddle you through it. I'm just going to be hitting it. So get ready, brace yourself. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be a great fun episode. Okay, I look forward to going through that with you. Okay, everyone, I promised you I was going to do this in recovery, so here it is. I hope you practice the words, so sing along with me. Are you ready to go? 4 banana, 3 banana, 2 banana, 1. 4 bananas playing in the bright warm sun. Flippin' like a pancake, poppin' like a cork, fleagle, bingo, drooper and snork. Tra-la-la, la-la-la-la, tra-la-la, la-la-la-la. And that's the song, and you knew it was coming. I want to say thank you to the staff at Murdoch Hospital. I've got this lovely girl here, Gina. This is Gina, right?
Yeah.
Gina. But all the staff have been really, really wonderful. So I want to say thank you to all of them. Oh, I thought I wouldn't cry. Here we go. Thank you to my subscribers. You made this really easy. And I thought it would be tougher than it was, and it wasn't actually that tough. And it's because of your love. So thank you. I'll talk to you again when I get home, all right? Talk to you then. So this is my mate Rick. Rick and I went to high school together, and you've actually already probably seen some of Rick's work, because if you've watched the How to Magnetize a Screwdriver video, Rick was the cameraman for that, and I think we can agree that video turned out pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was actually the video, if you recall, where I burst out crying for the first time, and as you would be aware, also not the last time. And I forget exactly how you did it, but when we were filming that outro, you made some hand motion to tell me just to keep going. Do you remember?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah. So when you watch the end, I'll just get up on my thing a bit. When you watch the end of that How to Magnetize a Screwdriver, take it from me, Rick was actually in the background giving me some kind of signal saying to keep going, because I think he was worried that I was going to stop talking.
I saw that you were stuttering and stumbling over what you wanted to say, and
yeah,
no, dude, just keep going with it.
Yeah, and that happened in real time, and that happened in real time. So Rick gave me the encouragement to keep going with that through that hard moment, and
you got through it awesome.
And I did, yeah. And How to Magnetize a Screwdriver has actually turned out to be a great video. It's also quite popular.
I have magnetized screwdrivers.
And Rick has now magnetized screwdrivers, all right. And I've actually, while I think of it, I'm going to film a prequel to that video, which is going to be how to get the magnets out of speakers and hard drives. So I won't go into it now, but at some point in the future, there is going to be a prequel to that, where I take a set of speakers, as you would know what a set of speakers looks like, and a hard drive that you would know as a hard drive, and I'll actually show you how to deconstruct them. And if you're available to film that or whatever,
I have a hard drive to use.
Yeah, sure. Now I know you're all dying to see my Infusaport, so because that's what we hear. It's smaller. I'll just rearrange the camera, so I'll bust you for a second, Rick.
Yeah, you're right.
that's it. It's smaller than I expected, and it's actually less painful. I'm actually not feeling a sensation of pain from it at all. Hang on, can you? Let me just.
What's beeping?
Oh, is that me beeping?
I don't know.
All right. Okay.
It seems to be connected. You've got you right.
Yeah, I think it's one of the other things. Anyway, we're in a hospital. There's beeping. Come this
So
way.
for the uninitiated, what exactly does that do, Paul?
Okay.
I don't know. That's why I'm
Oh, you
asking.
seriously don't know?
I don't know. No.
Okay. You know what? Okay, so this is a cannula, right?
Yeah, I know what
Okay.
that is, yeah.
So this is a device to allow people to connect up. Oh, there you go. It's actually connected.
You're on a saline drip.
I'm on a saline. Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. So they're putting saline into me through the cannula.
I think,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, it would be, and that is going into a vein in my arm.
Yeah.
But they've had to install that cannula, right?
Yeah.
Now with the chemo drugs, they need to do it every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And they need to do it in a particular way. So what they do is they put a subdermal cannula. So it's does the same function as that, but it's subdermal. So it's under my skin.
Yeah, right.
But just under my skin. So they just have to pop it in. The other thing hang on, let me rearrange that because I'm going to need to do a bit of a thing here. I thought it goes into the right subclavian vein, and veins, if you remember, go straight to your heart, right? Now, I thought they were going to put it a little bit into the vein. The surgeon actually explained to me it goes all the way to the top of my heart.
Oh, shit.
So when they inject into that, when they inject the chemos,
Straight into your
it is straight into my heart, and from my heart, it systemically goes absolutely everywhere, virtually within seconds.
Wow.
So it's instantly in the heart, and within seconds, it's everywhere in my body. So when they
Really effective human USB
Sup-
port.
yeah, so that's pretty much what it is.
Plug in.
It's in for a minimum of 6 months because I'm on 6 months of chemo. But he actually indicated to me that they can stay in for 2 years quite happily.
Okay.
And
Amazing.
that's cool. I asked him about, because obviously you've got your subclavian vein and they're sticking in a cannula tube, so a tube like that. And I asked him, so you make a little incision on the subclavian vein, you stick the cannula tube into it. How does
the blood get through normally?
How does it get through normally? But also, how does it heal?
Yeah.
And he said, it just does. He said it heals beautifully around it. He said after 2 years when they pull it out, there is a perfect hole there, perfectly formed, and they actually put a single suture in it just to close the hole.
Close it up again.
And it's beautiful every time. So I don't know why, but he
Sexy veins.
well, yeah, I do what I can, buddy. I do what I can. So that's it. So yeah, basically it's a subdermal cannula insertion point.
Yeah, right.
It's called an infusion port, and so everything is on a Thursday now. So this has gone in on a Thursday. Next Thursday I get my first set of chemo drugs through that.
Yeah, right.
And then 2 Thursdays after that, I get my next set of chemo. 2 Thursdays after that, I get my next
couple
set.
of weeks.
So everything is on everything chemo related is Thursdays.
Okay.
From here on in. So yeah, but look, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I want to say something to you guys. I tried to say it before, but I may have got a little bit teary there, as is often the case. You guys have really helped me, and I mean that absolutely genuinely. I would not be standing here feeling so fine about the way today was without you, and it comes down to the nice comments you've written to me. I feel your support like you wouldn't believe. I'm starting to feel like I want to refer to you all as family, and I've met almost none of you in person. I think my stats. I think I'm up to about 5,500 subscribers, so I know that there's 5,500 of you, and I know about 100 of those people are actually my friends that have actually met me in person. So there's something like 5,400 of you I've never met, and yet I feel like you're my family, and I definitely feel like you've helped me get through today easier.
Connected.
Yeah, and it is that feeling of connection.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to you. You would remember from yesterday's video that I was doing it a bit tough yesterday, and I had maybe I had anxiety about today or whatever. It would not be unreasonable that would be the case. I want you to know that today went really smoothly. Smoothly apart from the fact there was quite a delay in getting me into surgery, and poor old Rick.
Didn't wait as long as you, mate. It's fine.
Rick waited 4 hours for me to come out of.
It was a nice day.
Well, there was that. I waited 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I came at 8:30 in the morning, and I didn't get into surgery until 7.5 hours later. And it's now. What time is it now? It's
I don't know, to be honest.
it's like 6 p.m. or what time is it?
More.
7:15.
There you go.
It's now 7:15 at night. So I've been here 10 hours 45 minutes. So today didn't go to plan in terms of all of that. And I want to reassure you, it's not that the hospital made a mistake. I was second on the list, and the first on the list was a gentleman having colon cancer treated, and that surgery turned out to be much more complicated than they expected, and that guy was on the table for an extra 3 hours. So I just had the inconvenience of waiting. That guy has the reality of a colon surgery that was much more complicated, and that guy, and I don't know that guy. I don't know his name. I just heard that's why it got delayed, and my heart goes out to that person. So I hope they're okay. Yeah, so that's how I feel. Rick and I are going to eventually, once they let me out of here, we're going to go home, and we're going to be having, or at least you have.
I'm not sure when that is going to be. We've got to work that out.
But are you down for the KFC?
Oh, we'll give it a go.
All right. So what happened last night was one of my friends that I went to primary school and high school contacted me, and we talked about catching up for dinner, and she indicated to me, Paul, I used to work at KFC. I get staff discount. Let's have KFC. And I said, mate, I'm in. Like normally 2 years ago, I would never have had KFC. I would have said it's too fattening, it's too much salt, too much whatever. But given my current situation, I really need high calorie intakes, and I'm more than happy to have
KFC's good calories.
Yeah, to have KFC. yeah, and just tasty.
Yes.
And so anyway, we had a bit of a confusion in our conversation last night, and I basically said to her, yep, I'm in, let's do KFC. When can you get here? Meaning, when can you get here last night? And she said, no, you've misunderstood. I'm down south. I'm not in Perth right now, but if I order this food online, I still get my staff discount. So if you do want it tonight, I'll just order it for you. And I said, obviously, that would be completely lovely, and can I pay for it and all this kind of stuff. She refused the payment, and she sent it to me. Now, when the car turned up, it was DoorDash. And when the DoorDash car turned up, I went to the driver's door, and the driver handed me a bag of KFC, and I said, oh, thanks, mate, see you later. And he went, whoa, stop. And then he handed me a second bag of KFC, and I was like, thanks, mate. And he goes, stop. And then he handed me a big bottle of, my blood pressure thing is going off. Then he handed me a bottle of Pepsi, and I was like, are we done? And he goes, yeah, we're done. So, Fiona, thank you. That's more food than I can eat in about 4 days. But thank you for that. It's absolutely lovely. I did eat some of it last night as much as I could. I do love the original recipe, and I had been missing that flavour of the original recipe. And I'm pleased to report there is actually some left. So when I get home tonight, I'm going to have more. And I wanted to just say thank you to you, Fiona. That was really sweet of you to do that. As you would know, we went to primary school together and high school together. So I've actually known you since we've been 5 years old, and we're now 52. So that means we've known each other 47 years, and that's pretty special. So thank you. Don't lose that staff discount card. May not be the last time we use it. So thanks. So Rick and I might just have a quiet chat.
Oh yeah.
And we'll talk to you later. Okay.
One thing before you go.
Oh, what?
Your blood pressure is. You want to know your blood pressure?
I do want to know my blood pressure.
Blood pressure is 135/87. Perfectly normal.
All right. Sweet. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye. Actually, it did. It's like, oh, we don't have tequila, all we have is beer. No, we don't have beer, all we have is tequila. Vice versa, scratch that.
That's from Three Amigos.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't there a slap? Oh.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yes. That photo just looks like the cover of that movie. to me.
Yeah.
I just look at it and
that's
go, like, oh my God.
that's so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I wonder if we can get those big hats.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? You know the ones in
Sombreros.
that. Yeah, but it's a particular. It was a black hat with like a silver trim.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, fancy.
it was yeah. Yes, senor. It was fancy.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be funny.
Yeah.
I want to see how Adrian would react in that situation. Actually, I mean, I think he's got a sense of humour.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
But he's a funny character. He's a bit of a geek as well, right? Well, I mean, obviously.
In a good way. That's a
Yeah,
good
in a good way. Of course, in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, he gave me a movie. What was it? Shaolin Soccer. So, yeah, he's got a sense of humour. It's a funny kind of movie.
Shaolin soccer, like
Shaolin
Shaolin
soccer.
Kung Fu.
Yeah. It's a comedy.
Okay. All right.
It's about Kung Fu guys that play soccer and do all their
Well, they'd have their great kicks.
funky things.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds pretty cool.
So, yes, he's got a sense of humour, is my point.
Yeah. He was an interesting guy in high school too. I remember Adrian being in. I remember him being in chess club, and I remember him being in Dungeons and Dragons. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I played that, but I didn't play that at school, interestingly enough. So I didn't know that he did. Yeah.
He was like the dungeon master, and he.
Was he?
It was him and I think Silas. And no, it was Adrian, and
I could picture Silas playing that too.
yeah, but Silas would play it, whereas Adrian would be the dungeon master.
Yeah.
And the dungeon master had to have a really inventive mind because they basically tell the
They're a
story.
storyteller.
They are a storyteller, and Adrian would do that.
Yeah.
And I remember he was inventive and entertaining, and
The rules are just a framework. It's really up to
Yeah,
the imagination where
yeah.
you take it. You need a good storyteller.
yeah, and and that is Adrian. He was a good dungeon master.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll find that out.
So there you go. You've learnt a lot about me, and I know you know some very personal things about me, and we know what those things are. You can add Dungeons and Dragons in high school to that list, and I think some of you are going to find that surprising.
Full spectrum, bit of everything.
Yeah.
Moderation.
Oh, funny. Rick, do you want to do the Nubdees thing?
Oh no, not really.
I think you have to now. I've mentioned it.
Do I have 4 seconds to spare?
Yeah. Okay, so just to explain, what would that be? That would be 1986, like when we were in... No, it'd be year 10, 1985.
85, 86, somewhere around
Okay,
there. Yeah.
so in 1985,
Young and silly.
McDonald's ran a promotion where if you said the contents of the Big Mac within...
2 all beef patties, special sauce, let's see,
Cheese
blah, blah,
bit.
blah.
Well, we've got to do it. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. You got the Big Mac for free?
No, they gave you a free Coke. They had stopwatches on the counter,
Yeah.
and they actually sat there and said, ready, set, go, and you had 4 seconds to say it. And if you said that, they'd give you a free Coke. But we never bought anything. So we were just going in there.
Oh, it was
getting
only
free
a Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you got a Big Mac.
No.
Oh, Big Coke is not so much of a deal. Anyway,
It's still good, though. I mean, we didn't actually buy it.
well, we were 15 years old, mate. We were stoked to get anything for free. So anyway,
Coke.
yeah. So Rick did it every day after school at this one McDonald's to the point where the owner of the McDonald's said to Rick, "Stop! I can't take this loss.
Guys, come in here.
I can't take this
Okay, I'm
loss
not
on my
giving you any more Coke.
business." And you somehow negotiated that if you could say it backwards in 4 seconds,
Yeah.
you would still get it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Rick saying 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, backwards. Over.
Nub dis MSSR no so kipisi ecutel EQS lasep si tev fi bla out.
And if you spell
Where's
that,
my free Coke?
Where's my free Coke? and you can time that. That was definitely way under 4 seconds, and that was one of the funny memories of our childhood. I think
That
we were.
was 36 years ago, and it's embedded in my brain.
Yeah, and Rick and I have, I mean, we've been friends since high school, obviously, but recently with recent events, we've got even closer. And I brought that up. I think I just said Nubdees.
Yeah.
And Rick immediately went, I know what you're on. I know it. And he didn't even need to check his work. He just rattled the whole thing off.
One of those things that gets embedded.
It was
in the
just
brain.
burnt in there.
Yeah.
And yet we worked out that promotion only lasted, did you
It
say?
wasn't very long.
You said 2 weeks or something.
Oh, it's not a long time, no.
Yeah. So
It was just so hard. I don't think I've ever tried so hard in a maths class to memorise anything.
So so that was a really that's a fun memory for both of us from about 1985 when we were 15 years old, and it brings a smile to our face even to this day. So
I'll tell you something else funny about that, because it wasn't just once that we'd go in every day. We would actually go outside, swap clothes, and come back in and pretend we were other people. And the people on the counter didn't really notice.
You're joking me?
No. Sugar.
Yeah, but
15 years old, man.
yeah, but they would have to
School
recognise.
kids. They're just school kids. We just swap jumpers. 1 minute I'm wearing a yellow jumper, 1 minute I'm wearing a brown jumper.
That is funny, man. That is funny.
Didn't have a hat last time. Must be a new guy.
That is funny. Do you? I remember another thing. So back in the day when you used to catch a bus to and from school, we had these paper. Yeah, you know the story.
Yeah. Smart riders these days, plastic cards. They were multi-riders back then.
What is now called a smart rider now, which is a plastic
cardboard.
card. Back then was pink was the student one. They were different
so.
colours for adults and whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I remember them being pink.
Yeah, but they were paper and they had 10 credits. So there was 5 on one side and you'd spin them around, there'd be 5 credits on the other side.
Yep.
And so there's 2 things I remember. One is when you stuck it in, do you remember the noise it made? Chigig! we used to make that sound at any opportunity we had. We'd go chigig! And the other thing was I remember we were in chemistry class and we learnt acetic acid, which is CH3COOH. And we decided that was chigurk acid, and then that's how I used to remember the chemical formula for acetic acid. Was that I used to call it multi-rider acid because that was the multi-rider sound, and I remember that. But the other thing was, and you know we're naughty boys. We weren't evil boys, but we were naughty boys, we found that if you put sticky tape over the where the paper bit would be, you could still stick it in the machine and the sensor would come up and hit the sticky tape, think that was a piece of paper and bite it, and it would make the right sound so the driver would think that everything's fine. See you later, mate. It's great to meet you. And we would then get on for free. But it also meant that the multi-rider would, because it used to write on the date.
The time. It was a timestamp.
It would print the timestamp on the piece of paper. So, of course, you would end up with the same point on the piece of paper would get overwritten.
Same line over and
5,
over
6,
and
7, 8, 9 times, right? So eventually you would actually have to throw it away and get a new one for no other reason that you had soaked the paper in the dot, and it was dot matrix ink. So for those of you old school, I know some of you are going to know what a dot matrix printer looks like. Some of you are not. And it was a dot matrix printer, and
They make a great noise.
Chigurk.
On steroids.
So those are the 2 things I remember about the multi-riders. One was the CH3COOH, acetic acid, chigurk.
I did not know that. I did not know.
Well, see,
good. That's good.
Yeah, well, but check my work because I might have that. My recollection is CH3COOH.
Sounds fair to me.
And that is acetic acid. And acetic acid, by the way, is vinegar. And I used to remember it as multi-rider acid. And the other thing was
brilliant.
that we used to cheat. I don't think any of us came from rich families. So look, so as I was saying, it was surprising to me that the good Christians, as I would describe them, were ending up in effect apologising for what they were describing as bad Christians, and I didn't realise that would happen. I thought there would be solidarity between all Christians, and actually it was not like that at all. And as you can see if you read the comments, like there's a very distinct feeling of these people identify as Christians, but please don't associate us with that. And
Yeah, I saw that.
and I thought that
interesting.
I thought that was really cool. So hang on, so how's that? That's a little bit more balanced. Yeah, so that surprised me, and I've noticed in the last, it's got more dramatic in the last 48 hours, that I'm finding that people are really jumping to my defence. Absolutely.
Defence of
Well,
what?
what was one that happened just recently? Oh, okay. So one was a guy that said, you need to repent that you did porn, and you're a bad person and whatever. And then people basically, and this all happened, I was offline. This happened without me there. And evidently, from what I gather, so many people came to my defence. And
I didn't see any of this.
No. It actually, for most of it, neither did I.
Yeah, okay.
And were defending me and saying, shooting him down, basically. And I think the guy was so surprised because he was expecting people to back him up.
Yep.
But in fact, people were coming in and going, leave Paul alone, mate. If you're saying that, you don't know Paul, and that comment is out of order, you need to go away. By the time I found it, so I found it in the notification digest, like at the top right-hand corner, it says how many messages, how many notifications.
On YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw it in the notification digest, and it said, "Here's this conversation," right? And I saw it, but I could see it was 4 hours old.
Yep.
When I clicked on it, it was all deleted, and I didn't delete this conversation or this dude because I was.
Else deleted the main comment.
The only way I can rationalise what actually happened was the guy got made to feel so uncomfortable by the other people that he deleted his own comment and then unsubscribed from my channel.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't exist on my channel
surprising.
anymore.
Yeah, not surprising.
Right? And that has happened in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
And I think it's down to you guys. You've reached a critical mass where you've come to a certain point of shall we say, loving me. And
I was going to say something about that.
Well, go on, say it.
You know what it is? I think the way you present, the way you speak, your videos and stuff like that, people actually feel like they know you. They actually do know you.
They
right?
and some of them,
and that's why they're like, hey, Paul, they consider you like a friend.
They do, and some of them actually use those words. They say, Paul, I've never met you in person, but I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
And you know what's this?
I see that.
This is update 24. So after 24 updates, to a large degree, they do know me. And let's be honest, I have given away some very, very big life secrets. And I've also referred.
You've not held back.
I've not held back, yeah. And I've also referred people to my Substack. And in my Substack, I go into more detail.
Oh, I've read some of that.
I hope you approved of.
I'm not going to make any comment on that. I'll let people digest that.
What I'll say is, I at least hope you found it well written.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because whereas YouTube
it's easy
is
for people to associate with what you're writing, whether they agree with what you're saying or not.
Yeah.
This is another thing entirely. But I feel like they know you. You're a friend to those people, whether you've met or not.
Yeah, and look, if I can express to you, this is update 24. So to a very large degree, you really do know me. I've certainly laid everything bare, and you might have even noticed that the title of update 23 was called Laid Bare, and there was a very a very real reason that I chose those words, and it's because I feel, well, at that point it actually had two meanings. One was I feel laid bare to my situation, and it is very confronting to face your own mortality and to also make yourself very emotionally vulnerable. So, for example, talking about the escorting, because I've got people around. When we talk about the escorting, that was something that I actually had to phone two of my brothers and tell them about it beforehand, because I didn't want them to see it. I didn't want them to be shocked online first, right? And Noel, you've met Noel. Noel was surprised, but certainly not. Sorry, that noise is my blood pressure thing that's going off. Well, it's
check-up time.
Yeah, check-up time. So don't just ignore that noise. That's just my blood pressure thing going off. Noel was very surprised. He didn't know that, but he was certainly supportive. My eldest brother David was almost proud.
Visiting hours will end at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, visiting hours end at 8 p.m. Hopefully we're out of here, but what time is it? 7:52. Oh, good Lord. They've got to be ready to let me go, though. I've been in recovery now.
You better check that. You sound pretty compass.
I feel, well, I'm not driving. You're driving.
No,
That's the
exactly.
whole point of why you're here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I was saying is, before I sort of released all that stuff publicly, I contacted both of my brothers and a niece and a nephew, and gave them a heads up and said, look, this stuff is, I'm going to be talking about this stuff. It did happen, and I hope that you're cool with it, right? And you have to cogitate on stuff like that for quite a while, because once you've said it, you've said it. You can't take it back. And I had to really search inside myself as to whether I was ready to let that stuff be publicly known. There's, of course, people in my close group of friends that have known about that stuff for more for decades. But it's one thing for your close friends to know it. It's another thing to put it on the public internet. And in that sense, I felt like I was laid bare. And that was another part of that whole update 23 was, here I am emotionally laid bare. My deepest secrets were laid bare. And as of today, my physical body is being laid bare. So that was why I called it that. And I'm getting more comfortable with it. And I'm getting more comfortable that you're accepting me, and you are demonstrating to me that you're accepting me, and that feels really good. I feel like we're becoming a family. So please do keep that up. And let's continue to grow as a family. I do feel like the way I've seen you guys protect me in the comments is like you are protecting me, like I am your brother. I certainly, when anyone, and it almost never happens, to be honest, but if anyone ever attacked Noel like that, I would attack them back the way you've attacked these people, these trolls, on.
Well, maybe not attack, defend.
Yeah, I don't mean it like
Yeah.
physically attack, but I mean certainly that I would come to the defence of.
Yeah.
Of that person,
Yeah.
and you've become like that for me. So if you would say that you feel like you do know me, it certainly does. There certainly can be seen to be a truth in that, and you are behaving like that. So that's great. I do need you to recognise though that you know me, I don't really know you. So just be aware of that. I would also want to point out that some people have overstepped some boundaries, and I just want to quickly point that out. This is a very small number of people, but some people did track me down to my real Facebook account. If you could please not do that. I need my Facebook to be my safe place for people like Rick.
Yeah.
That, you know, I've known Rick since, what did we work out, 1982?
Yep.
So
More than 40 years.
Is it? Oh, far out.
Yes, mate.
Wow. So I need to keep Facebook for guys like Rick, where I've known him for 40 years. So please, if you do find my actual Facebook, please don't try and add me as a friend. Please don't random message me. I did have one person contact me on LinkedIn. I suspect you are still a subscriber here, and I reacted quite strongly to you. You know that.
Oh.
I would just say I considered it inappropriate. I don't want us to be enemies. I want us to be friends. But you did write to me on a platform that was inappropriate, and
It's a business forum.
yeah. And in fact, your message, I actually thought that you were an employment contractor trying to get me to do some work, was actually how I read. Because in my head, this is LinkedIn, this is about business. I'm an IT guy with tons of experience in IT, currently listed as unemployed. And I started reading your message thinking you were trying to hire me. And that's why I took your message completely out of context. And I said those words to you that I said. I do maintain, though, you should not have contacted me on LinkedIn. And I would see you later. It was lovely to meet you. And good luck, okay? All right, see ya. So please, don't contact me on LinkedIn. Don't contact me on Facebook. If you ever manage to get my mobile phone number, don't contact me on WhatsApp. Your correct place to contact me is on YouTube, okay? But I also do recognise that you are really genuinely getting to know me, and I do really like it. But let's have our friendship and our family time here, okay? I'm looking around the ward.
Everyone's going.
Everyone's going. It is 8 o'clock. I suspect they are closing the ward. I certainly feel like I am ready to leave, so I'm going to stop the recording here. And Rick and I are going to go home, and I'm
KFC.
KFC. There you go. We are doing it.